Hey, this is Buck Dharma of Blue Oyster Cult, and you're listening to the Sports Circus.
Welcome to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP Television. Today's show is brought to you by UppercutChops.com. Check out their tasty selection of all-natural, dry-aged USDA prime Wagyu steaks and chops. Wait till you taste their best-in-class New York steaks, the filet mignon, and of course the king of all, those gigantic cowboy cut and tomahawk cut ribeyes. Best I've ever had, probably be the best you ever have as well. Check them out at UppercutChops.com. That's UppercutChops.com. Or give them a call, find out what's for dinner at 714-948-0100, 714-948-0100. Again, 714-948-0100 for UppercutChops.com. Yes! A big welcome in to everybody listening in on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast. Everybody watching us on Cox, Comcast, Spectrum, Frontier, Oceanic, Time Warner, Spectrum, and Wild Cable TV. Thanks for joining us also on Hotel TV and Chicago Food Favorites on Facebook, a fun food group on Facebook. Check it out, folks. Chicago Food Favorites. You know, we think about all those people that get a chance to work at home. They don't have to commute back and forth. And you wonder sometimes, you got your neighbors out there walking to the mailbox, scratching their belly at 11 o'clock in the morning. Like, what the hell's going on over here? Well, maybe Joe or Josephine or whatever, they're going to the mailbox, whatever. They just woke up. Maybe they were working all night. A lot of people work from home. And we don't really know necessarily what they do unless we start poking into their business. And so we think about those fun jobs that you can do from home. Well, I don't really know how many are fun, but one fun one, which I guess you could really do the whole thing at home if you really wanted to, and you love sports, maybe you want to become a sports agent. How do you like that? So what does it take to be a sports agent? Let's say you're trying to find a career path and you're trying to do something fun and different, but we don't really know what part of sports we want to be in. We can't be an athlete. Maybe we're too old, or maybe we just weren't good enough. Or maybe we just want to put our degrees and whatnot to work. And maybe you don't even have a degree. You don't even know. But maybe being a sports agent sounds fun, interesting, and exciting. I mean, think about this. There are no standard educational requirements to become a sports agent in the first place, but most have at least a bachelor's degree, in case you're wondering. A lot of people nowadays, they have at least a 4-year degree. And remember, now you don't need one necessarily to be a sports agent. We're going to kind of run with the sports agent idea just because we can. Now, of course, a master's degree or a law degree can certainly improve your chances of becoming a top sports agent. So educationally speaking, bachelor's degree, a common degree for sports agent, often in sports management, business, marketing, finance, or law. And from what I remember, arguably the best undergraduate program in America. I'm a college recruiter, and I seem to know some of this stuff. And it seems to me, or I seem to recall, that Ohio University, not the other guys in Columbus. This is Ohio U, the Bobcats. They have, I believe, the top sports management program in America, in case you're wondering. I get nothing for saying this. I'm just saying from my own recollection. So maybe an undergraduate degree, if you're thinking about becoming a sports agent from Ohio U, would kind of catapult you towards a fast track to being potentially a top sports agent. Now, if you're going to, let's say you already have a bachelor's degree, or you're going to go that other path that I just mentioned, and maybe you're looking at the master's plan. Maybe you don't have a master's degree, but a master's can help you learn about contract law or collective bargaining. Now, that's kind of a big deal. So you got to learn some of the union terminology, and you've got to be able to break down the legalese of some of these contracts, some of the verbiage of the contracts that really make these things stick, being the contracts themselves. These are the terms and conditions that will make you say, all right, I think I understand these. So a master's degree, maybe in sports management, or I would probably think a law degree would be pretty good, or even in library science, because that deals with a lot of law. Now, of course, that law degree also can make you more attractive to experienced athletes and managers, because they say, you know what, that person put a whole bunch of years in an education and they've got a good grasp of the legal system. So we're likely to talk to somebody like that versus somebody maybe with no degree and minimal experience. And sometimes experience is a nice substitute for the degrees. But if you've got both, it sure seems to me that you're on the right track. But there are other requirements, though. Now, an internship is kind of a big deal, and that can help you gain experience working with athletes and to build connections. Those internships, it's funny because people say, well, an internship, generally speaking, will give you the experience and maybe what you don't want to do in life. And I can tell you, just from doing the sports circus for the last 8+ years, we have had several interns on this show and given them ideas and paths on which way to go in their careers, whether it's broadcasting, whether it's sports management, kinesiology, sports, business sports minds. You never know. They may want to work in the front office. They may even want to be on the equipment side. But being a part of this show gives you a nice depth and breadth of what it looks like to be involved in the sports business and or the media side of things. So also, as far as requirements go, look, a certification, as I understand it, one of my friends had gone through the certification a year ago and told me about all the hoops that they had to jump through just to become a baseball agent. And so the certification side, some professional leagues require agents to be certified, which often requires what? A bachelor's degree or a master's degree. Now, that all depends, of course, on the sport. But generally speaking, if I'm not mistaken, baseball requires certification. I don't know. I think the NFL does as well. I'm not sure about the NBA. I'm not sure about the National Hockey League or the Major League Soccer. But what I do know is that that certification is certainly one of those issues. Now, in addition to that, look, you're going to have to develop your skills. So first and foremost, that bachelor's degree could be in what? It could be in communications. I mean, that's my undergrad was in communications. And I actually had nonverbal communications in mine and philosophy. But communication skills are absolutely key. And look, agents need to be able to represent their clients and their interests and build trust. And that's by what? Effectively communicating with the agent or with the athlete as well as, I guess, the other side or whoever you're negotiating with. I don't want to say the opponent, but just whoever your target is. And of course, you're going to have some skills in marketing and branding as well. So, I mean, look, agents can use marketing and branding skills to showcase their clients' unique qualities, but you've got to be able to communicate them as well. That's where the communications part stick in. Well, also, on top of that, there is a financial side of that. So think about financial management. Look, agents may work with clients to identify sponsorships and brands as well. So there is a hard number side of this too. So a nice healthy mix of liberal arts and math and science, right? Because math and science is sort of the universal language. Regardless of what language you speak anywhere around the world, math and science is that universal language. And so networking is also another big part of it, which goes back to what? Your communication skills. A lot of people like to discount that communications degree, and I'm not really sure why. Well, it doesn't really amount to much. Well, I wouldn't really say that. I mean, network is also a big part of it. You got to network with people. Attending sporting events and industry conferences can help you meet potential clients and other industry professionals. So you have to know how to talk to them effectively, get your message across to them effectively. You have to be an effective listener. You really have to be a better listener than a speaker. That's for darn sure. And you have to listen to what people are not telling you. This way you know where your next questions may come from. So, I mean, how long does it take to become a sports agent? Geez, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people say it could take anywhere from 12 months to 24 months. I tend to believe that if you go the degree route, if you do it right, it's probably going to take you 4 to 6 years to really get into that sports agent workforce. And if you're going to work for one of those big organizations, it might take even a touch longer or a little bit of luck. but that's part of that networking part. So the communication skills are super important. And obviously, you may have to do some grunt work. So it may be necessary to gain some experience in the sports industry before you can actually start working as an agent, as it's almost like being an internship, doing this, that, or the other with a sports team or with a media company or something that relates directly back to sports in the first place. I mean, look, there's a lot to it. Think about this. From the NFL side, I mean, look, agents can earn, I mean, even on the small side, when you just start, $29,000 to $83,000. That's actually according to ZipRecruiter. But again, you're going to have experience, and you want to be in a location where there's actually a team playing, and you're going to have to do what? Well, an agent's salary is largely based on how well their clients perform. So you need people that are actually good at their sport as well. And so you ask, well, how hard is it to really become an NFL agent? Well, becoming a sports agent, as we already talked about, is very competitive. But this career isn't as straightforward as simply getting a degree and then finding a job. There are some requirements that are unique to this field, and you'll need to make those connections, as I mentioned, and you're going to really have to earn your stripes. Folks, it is not easy. So, in fact, in the next few segments, we're going to talk with Jason Owens, JasonOwensMusic.com. Check him out, country artist Jason Owens. This guy is a star. He's good. He's easy to talk to. A business guy also. And look, it's not easy. We're going to talk a little bit of the business side of the music business. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come. And you're going to hear one of Jason's songs right here when we go on break. Don't go anywhere.
Can you feel the slow burn as you press against my lips? Your sweetness overtakes me, I'm okay with giving in.
We're a lot different, I ain't looking for the same. Come a little closer, babe, I wanna play this game. You're my whiskey,
You're my wine, I wanna feel your body next to mine. Tangled up in the bedsheets, mixing Chardonnay and country. Get me tipsy tonight, I'll drink you up until the sunrise. Wanna wake up with you by my side, mixing whiskey and wine. You must be heaven sent. Red lip stain, still there from yesterday. You and me, we go together. There's just no other way.
you're my whiskey,
You're my wine, I wanna feel your body next to mine. Tangled up in the bedsheets, mixing Chardonnay and country. Get me tipsy tonight, I'll drink you up until the sunrise. Wanna wake up with you by my side, mixing whiskey and wine.
sweet for all that vibe.
back to the Sports Circus. I'm Roy Firestone. Now it's time to throw it back to Sal.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP Television. This segment is brought to you in part by the music of Jason Owens. And folks, if you don't know who Jason Owens is, you better check him out, jasonowens.com. And here's Jason to tell you a little bit more about himself.
Hey guys, I'm Jason Owens. I'm a country music singer. You can find my stuff online at Jason Owens Music or my website, www.jasonowensmusic.com.
All right. Big round of applause for Jason. Sporting that ball cap today. What's that ball cap say on it? Let's see if I can read that. That says... Oh, wait a minute. That's not a Jason Owens ball cap. Now, I know you have Jason Owens ball caps. Where could people get those?
They can get them at our show, any of our shows, and we're working on getting it back up online to where we can get them out on our website as well.
So you get hats, and what else do you have? Just out of curiosity.
We've got the T-shirts and hoodies and sweatshirts, and we've got bracelets, all kinds of fun stuff.
He said bracelets. So how come I've never seen these? And how come I haven't had a chance to experience any of these hats, T-shirts, hoodies, or bracelets?
Because when I saw you, I didn't have them.
Right. Okay. All right. That's fine. All right. Well, maybe we'll see those in an upcoming show. Of course, we don't want to timestamp this one, but we do know that you play all over the country, and you've played, Las Vegas, 150 times or so, right?
Something around that number. It's been a lot.
Crazy number. And I know you're constantly back and forth between Kentucky and fabulous Las Vegas. And, in the whole setting up for this venue and that venue, I know we talked a little bit about that in the past, but what does it take to book a show? I mean, for all those people that don't know, you've been doing this for 8 years, thereabouts?
Yeah, I think we're going on 9.
That's a lot of years.
Maybe 10. I don't
That's a lot of. Look at they're starting to run together. But the idea is
together, man.
A lot goes into this. And so can you give the audience an idea of what goes into you hypothetically, let's say you want to play hypothetically in Pensacola, Florida, right? Mm-hmm. So what is the process for somebody like you or your management team to go in and secure a venue at X date, whatever that date is down the road? What are the steps that people have to take to book a show in the first place?
Sure, Sal. Well, it can be a lot of different ways. The music business is a lot about relationships. So if you know a good booking agent or someone like that has a relationship with somebody in Florida, where you're saying hypothetically, that's probably the first place I'd start, is trying to find somebody that has an in there. Or if not, I would try to look up some venues that I feel like we'd be a good fit for. We would draw to and reach out to them, just cold email them or cold call them, or have my management or booking people call them and try to work it out. There's no rhyme or reason really to it. It's just how you get to the finish line.
It's just getting out there and hoofing it. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, man. Hustle.
hustle. Let's put some muscle behind that hustle. I've heard that before. So let's just say you're going to play Mobile, Alabama, right? So the first step is you're going to find the different venues that are out there that may be good for your size of what you're drawing. I mean, of course, you want to play to 100,000 people, but I don't think they have a venue that big in Mobile, Alabama. Maybe they'll have something anywhere from 1,000 seats to 20,000 seats, for example. Well, actually, no, they play a football game down there.
90,000 seat venue in Alabama.
Well, no, I'm talking about in Mobile, Alabama, down in the southern tip.
Yeah. No, I'm just joking.
No. That's okay. That's all right. So, all right, so you find the venue that fits your size, right?
Yeah.
And let's just say you narrow it down to maybe there's 4 in the city or around the area that fit your size. I mean, for example, you could maybe play at it's the Pensacola Blue Wahoos, if I'm not mistaken. That's a AA baseball team in the Atlantic Coast League. So they have a venue size where I think their baseball team can seat about 10,000. And then, of course, there might be on-the-field opportunities and whatever. So if you play at one of those minor league baseball stadiums, for example, so maybe there's a possibility of targeting that as one of your targets. And of course, it's going to be not during baseball season, right?
Right.
But
Right.
you have to probably contact whoever their media relations people are and whoever their facilities management people are, correct?
Yes. If you're trying to do the event completely by yourself, that would be the way to go. We've done some after post game shows actually here in my hometown. We have a minor league baseball team. They're called the Florence Yalls. Shout out to the Florence Yalls.
All right. The Florence Yalls. I need one of those baseball hats.
Yeah, man. And
Who are they affiliated with?
who are they affiliated with?
Do you know?
I don't know.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Go ahead. I'm going to find it right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, so they do like post-game concerts. So like after the game, if they're having like a country night or something, we're a good fit for that, to maybe bring our country fans out or maybe make some new ones.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so what I'm thinking about, I like the idea of tagging on to a current event for sure, but I also like the idea of an independent show. And by the way, what's interesting about the Florence Yalls is it says on their jerseys, Flow. Flow. And I think of like Mel's Diner and I think of Flow. It's just really funny when you see it because they're red, white, and blue, right? But it's kind of humorous. But then the home jerseys say Yalls on them. Because usually the road jerseys will say the city, and then the home jerseys will have the nickname for the team. Just in case you're wondering.
Well, that's a fun fact there, Sal. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a fun fact. And by the way, the Florence Yalls is where Southern hospitality meets eccentric, over-the-top entertainment. Well, you're entertainment, but you're not over-the-top entertainment. You're a good, solid entertainment. You're a good mix of what and what. If you were going to describe your music in one sentence to a non-country music audience, how would you describe it?
I'd say we're a good mix of country music and rock music at the core, with a little bit of bluegrass flair in there as well.
All right. I like that. All right. That's good stuff. All right. So back to this venue. And so what if the venue doesn't really know about you? How do you convince them, or how do you talk to them about you outside of you giving an interview? How do they find, well, geez, this guy talks a big game, but what has he done? Where do you direct him to?
Sure. So normally I would send them a link to our electronic press kit, or EPK. And basically that thing it's a page on our website that has all the information about it'll have like our bio in it, our videos, some pictures of us, just all the information they would need to know, TV appearances, radio appearances, how many Spotify streams we have, that kind of deal. And it kind of gives the buyer a better understanding of what they're getting into when they have us out.
Okay. So looking at that stadium that's right there in Florence, for example, it's a pretty good-sized stadium. That would be Thomas More Stadium. Right?
Yeah.
So it looks like they probably seat somewhere around 10,000. And I'm sure that they have other concerts or other events in the stadium when it's not baseball season, right? Because they're always trying to maximize the use of that venue. And so maybe when you say, look, I would like to play here, maybe it's going to be, I don't know, some kind of a break you're going to have in the schedule, or it's right after the minor league season, which technically ends at the end of August, right? So you could do your September shows or October shows in a place like that. That'd be wonderful with the fall colors and whatnot. So you would contact their facilities manager, staying on topic here, and say, look, here's my information if you don't know about me. and this is what I charge for this. Now, is it usually, I'm not asking you the amount, is it usually a per day, per event? How does that work?
Yeah, it can be a guarantee, which means it's like a flat rate for our performance, or it could be a split of ticket sales, merchandise, pretty much anything that we are going to profit on in the long run. So that we might say, well, we'll come in and play the show. You don't really have a cost except, letting us use, in this case, the stadium. And then we will have a split, whatever that percentage is, of everything else. So we both come out good together.
Right. Well, so both sides win, and I'm sure that's part of the negotiation anyway, because it's not really a standard format here in our last 30 seconds. There's not really a standard format. I would imagine it's just a case-by-case basis when it comes to negotiating whether you're going to get X, Y, or Z, right or wrong?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's case by case.
Yeah, I would imagine that's the safest way to talk about it. All right, folks, we're going to be back here with Jason Owens, jasonowensmusic.com. Check him out while we're on break and listen to this song that's coming up here right after our outro. And, folks, you're going to like it. This is just one of his original hits. And we're going to be back in a few minutes on the Sports Circus. Don't go anywhere.
She's the cutest girl I've ever seen. When she's fighting mad, it's the funniest thing. Long hair, blue eyes, and a heart of gold. This is the one thing I want you to know. If you want a man that'll love you to the moon and back, never lie, yeah, baby, none of that. Well, slow and steady wins the race. It's the thrill of the chase. Falling in love just ain't the same these days. We might start with a bottle of Jack. Maybe we won't need that. I gotta find a way to call her mine. I know sometimes gotta take it slow and steady. She's like a locked up bank vault, and I'm trying to crack the code. She's a perfect 10. She's got nowhere else to go. Yeah, I'm trying to show her I'm the kind of man she wants. She's had some real losers and it's, but her defense is up. I just wanna love her to the moon and back. I'll never cheat, never lie, yeah, baby, none of that. The slow and steady wins the race. It's the thrill of the chase. You gotta build the trust up these days. Might start with a bottle of Jack. Maybe we won't need that. I gotta find a way to call her mine. I know sometimes you gotta take it slow and steady. Yeah, she's coming around, I can see it in her eyes. Let me tell you, when the sun comes up, I ain't wasting no more time. I'm gonna pull right up in my truck. Maybe I'll be surprised. Slow and steady wins a race. She's walking right out. That smile she just gave me, I can see she's getting.
Hey everyone, Dave Jackson here, ESPN rules analyst on ESPN Hockey, and you're listening to the Sports Circus.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster, Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP Television. Folks, check out jasonowensmusic.com, as that is who this segment is brought to you by, just like the previous segment. Why can we do that? Because it's our show and we do what we want to do, if you know what I mean, here on the Sports Circus. But listen, a big welcome back to everybody listening in on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates, including our friends over in Honolulu on CBS Sports 1500 KHKA. That's home of the Yankees, 49ers, and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Welcome to everybody else up and down the West Coast and throughout the Heartland on all of our independents and network affiliates, all the way down to Auburn, Alabama. And that is WAUD 1230 on the AM dial. That is home of the Atlanta Braves. That's right. Catch all your Braves games right here. If you're over from Montgomery, Alabama, all the way to Columbus, Georgia, that is the coverage area for WAUD. And speaking of Atlanta, WDJY 99.1 FM. And of course, everybody listening in there Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. local time. Listen, folks, we're on at different times in different markets. And, you know, back here with Jason Owens, with Jason Owens Music. Jason, when you're going from city to city, and let's just say you're on a torrid pace to go, for example, you have shows, and I'm not going to pin the dates down. You have shows maybe in Vegas, you're a few days or a week in Vegas, then you come back to Kentucky, then you get right back out to Vegas, and then maybe you go up to Wisconsin or Chicago or down to Florida. How do you adjust? It's like, for example, when I was with you out here in Las Vegas, and you go back to Eastern time zone, and you have to not only move your body, your clock, but also everything else because you've had a week to adjust. How do you adjust if you have a very quick show? Do you find it taxing and the old proverbial jet lag? What's going on with that?
Yeah, Sal, man. That's like one of the hardest parts about doing this thing is the time zone changes. It really messes me up, to be honest. But a lot of the behind the scenes is resting and just like if I had to leave Vegas and then come back and do a show in Eastern time zone like the next day, I'm probably going to be resting, sleeping till about 2 hours before the show. Then, you know, I can go up and do the show, give every bit of energy I have left, and then after that, hopefully be able to wind back down.
Yeah, but listen, all I could say is the people are counting on you. If they booked their tickets or bought their tickets 4 or 5 months in advance and they're looking for a show on this particular date in this particular place, you want to give them your all because obviously, let's just say it's your first time playing there. They've never seen you. And let's say maybe you've just done a week in Vegas and now you're back hypothetically in West Virginia, right? Maybe do something over there. I mean, that's the other side of the country, but let's just say you're playing a venue, they've never seen you before. And when we were on break, you were listening to your own music. And when you listen to your own music, now remember, maybe these people will be listening to it for the first time. What's going through your mind when you listen to your music?
When I listen to my own music?
Yeah.
Well, I've heard it a lot, so...
Well, yeah, especially if you listen to the Sports Circus, right? Because we play it quite a bit over here.
So I guess I pick up different nuances every time I hear it. And I think any artist, any director of entertainment in some way, probably anytime they hear something, they like nitpick and be like, I could have did that a little bit better. That could have been, you know, maybe that guitar could have been bumped in the mix a little bit more, you know, that kind of thing. But for the most part, I like it. I don't try to release anything that I don't like. And being independent right now, that's a great thing because I can do whatever the hell I want.
Yeah, you got that right. So what is the difference between being independent or being tied to a label?
Yeah. Well, when you're independent, you kind of get to make all those decisions and all those calls. You also get to write all the checks for all the stuff that the label would write the checks for. But even though that, if you have a label deal, if they're writing checks for you, you're going to be paying those checks back one way or the other.
What do you mean?
So when you have a record deal, you're going to recoup what they give you. So say they gave me $1 million. We'll just say that, and then that $1 million is going to be recoupable under my whatever. We'll just say the split would be 50-50, which is very generous. It would probably be more like 70-30, 80-20. I don't know exactly. I know some guys that have 95-5s, and man, that's kind of rough. But that $1 million would be recoupable of, let's say, in the 20% range. I would have to recoup $1 million in 20%, but they would still get their 80% in that time frame. Did that make sense, or was that too confusing?
No, I understand the concept for sure, because it's almost like an advance. Here's an advance. Here's $1 million, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to pay you back off of our 20% of revenues if it's an 80-20 split, right? So they'll keep bleeding it back. Maybe here, you take half, we'll take half until you hit your $1 million or whatever the heck it is, and then you go back to your 20%, right?
Right.
Yeah. And that's one of those things where you're like, hey, I need a little bit of cash. Show me the money! And then, they're going to be like, if you think that you're going to get all your money right back right away, or you're going to keep getting your 20, we'll take it off of some big one-time shot. Stop it! I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, even some of the bigger artists that I mean, I've heard stories from people that said they didn't make a dime for 3-4 years once they signed that deal.
Right.
Because they were recouping their money, and thank God they did, because there's many artists that don't recoup it, and then that's just a whole nother story.
Yeah, and that's, when we think about that, I mean, I shudder with the idea that this could get ugly really quick, and as I look at it, I'm like, wow, I know that when you're looking at this financially, you're saying, well, Houston, we have a problem. I mean, for real. You could joke about it, but ultimately, I mean, this is a really big deal that a lot of people don't seem to understand. And it was really well portrayed in one of the Rocky movies. I think it was Rocky V, where Rocky was training some young protege guy. Anyway, and the guy was being trained by Rock. He asked Rock to train him. And then the guy's like, I want a title shot, and all this other crap. Well, the promoter who controlled all the other fighters for the most part, the promoter said, hey, let me represent you, and let's put some hustle behind this muscle and all this other crap. Well, here's a new car, here's a bunch of cash, and this, that, and the other. And what ends up happening is the fighter is at the mercy of the promoter. And so they have no say in anything. And so they basically have sold their soul. And it's an unfortunate thing, Jason, but unfortunately these kinds of things do happen, if you know what I mean.
Definitely. And I mean, no disrespect really even to the record labels, because if I was putting up that kind of money for something, I would definitely want to have the favor in it, right? Like, yeah, if you have, if this person has nothing and you're going to put $1 million behind them, like, you probably would want to make a good amount back out of it for taking that risk, because that still is a big risk. I mean, $1 million is a lot of money.
Well, it is a lot of money, but what I'm after here, I know we're running a little bit on time here in this segment. I want you to stick around for the next segment. And look, this is a very touchy subject that a lot of people don't seem to understand the dynamic of. And when you look at what the unspoken rules are, and then, of course, you have your written rules, which are in the contract. The problem is you're bound by things that maybe you don't realize that you're bound by, But just like with this advance, so here's $1 million advance, here's a new car, here's this, here's that. They're going to suck you in every possible way. And I'm not saying all record labels are bad. I just look at them from my friends that have been involved with labels, big labels, even small labels. And I've seen what has happened to them or with them. And I would argue that about 75% of them are very unhappy with the entire process because they're really under the gun. And I think you and I talked a little bit about this. Oh, I think it was probably about a week or so ago, just offline. And I want to talk about this in the next segment. If you don't mind sticking around, you gonna stick around with us?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, this is something that people don't really hear about. And folks, when you hear, you're like, what in the world? And here you have an honest kid. This guy is good. He's really good. In fact, when we go to break, you're going to hear yet another one of his songs. But what we're after here is for you, the listener, to learn a little bit about what it's like in the pressure of being an artist. And the pressure I'm talking about on the back end as well as the front end from the audience and everybody else. Isn't that a fair statement, Jason?
Yes, sir.
A great amount of pressure. All right, folks, we're going to be back here with Jason Owens. In the meantime, check him out at jasonowensmusic.com and read all about him. You can even sample some of that music if you're not going to stick around here on break because we're going to play yet another one of his hits. All right, back here in a few minutes on The Circus. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come.
Party's dull without your smile. Why'd I let the guys drag me out for this? You're probably at home just watching TV, and I can't stop thinking about your lips. 'Cause your kisses are sweeter than this champagne. Your voice is better than the song that the DJ's playing. There's no party, no party, no party like you. And there's nobody, nobody that can light up this whole room. No Mardi Gras or Fiesta to compare it to. There's no party, girl. There's no party like you. Here we'd be going crazy. Just you and me tearing up that dance floor. Oh yeah, sipping from that flask of whiskey you snuck in. I wish you walked right through that door. The spotlight's spinning round and round, it's searching for you. My heart stops, the beat drops when you walk into a room. There's no party, no party, no party like you. And there's nobody, nobody that can light up this whole room. No Mardi Gras or Fiesta to compare it to. There's no party, girl. There's no party like you.
No party like you.
Yeah, there's no party, no party, no party like you. Yeah, there's no party, no party, no party like you. There's nobody, nobody that can light up this whole room. No Mardi Gras or Fiesta to compare it to. There's no party, girl. There's no party like you.
Hey everybody, this is Brian Urlacher. Welcome back to the Sports Circus.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP Television. This segment is brought to you in part by the College of Southern Nevada Athletics. Check them out at csncoyotes.com for upcoming games and events. That's csncoyotes.com for the College of Southern Nevada Athletics. All right. All right, welcome back to everybody on Radio TV. You know who you are. Back here with Jason Owens, country music artist. I call him country music star because, hey, this guy's a star. If you haven't heard of him, you will. And if you haven't heard of him, you've been living under a rock on top of it. All right, Jason, welcome back to the show. Thank you very much. I was waiting for a little Elvis because I'm in Vegas.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
All right. So when we left off in the last segment, it was a little bit about pressure from a label. So for those artists that sign from the record labels, what does that look like as far as the pressure that they would put on the artist? Because you had said something, if I'm not mistaken, in a conversation we had a few days ago or whatnot, it was something to the effect of maybe there is an album, we'll just say, you use the old school terminology, right? That an album was put out, maybe it took 5 years to put songs together or something like that, and it was released and it does really well, but let's say you have a 3-album deal, for example, right? But let's say they want the next one out in a certain amount of time. What are the pressures to create those next hit songs? Because you never know if it's going to be a hit, right? I mean, you can put it in front of focus groups, but you really don't know. So what does that pressure feel like to you, the artist?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of pressure there. Like, I've never had a major label deal, but some buddies I have that have had them, are like, they definitely feel some pressure there for sure. Because if you turn in, sorry, I am just babbling right now, y'all. If you turn in a record to the label, say you worked on it for a year or two, you turn it in, and they don't like it, guess what? You got to go record another one. So
they just blow it up.
Yeah, until you make 3 records that they're happy with. I mean, that would be in the case that you want out of the deal.
Okay.
That would be bad. That if you're like, well, I want out of this deal, so I'm gonna record this awful record, so they'll just drop me or whatever. That's not the case.
So they could break the contract, but you really can't break the contract.
Right.
Oh, wow, that's where the plot thickens. All right, so talk about that. Again, people don't really hear about this stuff from the music bit. Let me tell you something, folks. This is very similar. We're talking about this because A, it's music, but B, also, this also pertains to sports as well. Entertainment is entertainment. And listen, even the National Football League, if you look at their charter, they are an entertainment company. So we go back to the idea that they could drop you, Jason, if they wanted to, but you can't drop them.
Not until that
until you deliver.
Yep, not to deliver or you recoup the money.
Right, that $1 million advance or whatever the hell it is, right?
Yeah, so let's talk about 360 deals.
Yes.
That's like the new record label thing they're doing now, and basically they get a cut of everything in your entire musical world, and maybe beyond that, depending on how bad the deal is. I mean,
he said how bad the deal is.
If you go work at McDonald's, we get 90% of whatever
Wow.
whatever it is. Probably not, but maybe.
Right.
On how
what is a 360 deal for those people that don't know what that is?
Yeah. So basically, that is a cut of everything the artist makes, and normally, the label will take 70 to 90%.
Wow.
So you get the leftovers, if you will. So if they're taking 90%, if I'm doing my math right, they'd have to make 10 million before you made one.
Yeah. Wow. That in itself, that's the deal that, boy, that's a big pill. It's almost like selling your soul, for Christ's sakes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why would somebody make that deal?
They probably just really want the fame. and they want to fast track it. But the thing is, even if you make that deal, there's no guarantee. I mean, I know some people that have made deals like that, and they're kind of in the same boat as me. They're like, well, I'm just posting on TikTok. I'm posting my stuff. The record label's not really doing a damn thing. But cool, I'm signed to whatever record label that also has these big artists. You know, if they don't do anything for you, it's not worth your time.
Well, you know, it's interesting you say that. So I've been, one of my friends in the sports world, this for all you baseball fans out there, I'm a former ball player, and I know somebody that is signed by a very large organization. We'll say they're CAA, right? CAA is as big as they come, right?
Okay.
And they've got the big agent, the big name, the big everything. But this particular ball player is absolutely lost. And buddy, when I say they're lost, man, they are lost. And the reason I say they're lost because they've been lost in the shuffle. They've been shelved. And there are other people shelved. That's a really tough word. But they have been shelved because, they could play, but they're not as good as some of the others. But the problem is the agent, the superstar agent guy, to be nameless, he has some of the biggest names in baseball. We'll leave it like that.
Right.
This particular guy says, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and leave this guy out there. If he happens to do something spectacular, fine, but we're not going to turn any attention. We're going to take most of his money and so forth. In the meantime, they're not going to do anything from a public relations standpoint or anything to draw any eyeballs to him. Does that happen in music?
Yeah, I mean, here's an example of being shelved in the music business. And this one sucks. This one burns here. So let's take the biggest artist in the world. We'll say Taylor Swift. Say they found somebody who is as good, pretty much is very similar to Taylor Swift. But guess what? They don't want competition. So they're going to sign this person and then shelve them, like you said. So now we own everything. You can't release a damn thing, and you are pretty much you're screwed. You know, you've signed away your music career. You're done.
Right. That's what I'm getting at. I mean, look, we've got a few minutes left in the segment here, but buddy, this is the thing that scares me for all those new artists out there. I know plenty of them, just like you. And look, you're an expanding and growing audience. And people like you, but you haven't sold your soul. You didn't sign a bad deal. Not that I know of anyway. But the idea is you haven't gone out there and said, look, fame is more important than everything. And so I'm going to go ahead and essentially sell my soul because I want my name in bright lights and all this other crap.
Yeah, it's not worth it. You got to work your way up the right way to where you have leverage when you go in for that deal. If that's the way you wish to pursue. But I mean, that would be my advice to the young artists like out there. Don't just try to go for that label deal, especially if it's a 90-10. Oh man, it just hurts.
Oh, that one is wow. It's like a punch right in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly I couldn't even imagine. And I remember back in the day when I was paying 20% to somebody in my modeling career. And I was like, wow, that's a big pill. But I mean, they did a lot of work for me. So, and I did a lot of runaway work, a lot of print work and all that fun stuff. I get it. It's a business, but at the same time, buddy, you got to get some value. And when you think about these record deals, these 80-20s, 90-10s, you're like, what the hell are you doing? 95-5? I can't even imagine that. That's just idiotic.
Yeah, man. It's people that don't look at it as the music business, because it is a business at the end of the day. And they just really want to chase that thing, and more power to them, man. But yeah, a 95.5, that's lunacy. Man.
I just see this disbelief on your face right now. I'm like, I don't blame you, man. I'd be scratching my noggin as well. But, well, listen, we've got, a couple of minutes left in this segment, maybe a minute and a half or so. and tell everybody how to follow you and so forth and so on. Go ahead, take plenty of time.
Yeah, absolutely. So y'all can find me on all the social medias at Jason Owens Music. You can find us on Apple Music and Spotify, wherever you stream music. Just type in Jason Owens. Check out some of our songs, including Slow and Steady, Whiskey and Wine, Firecracker, Drunk Dial, Party Like You, and many more. And you can find us on our website, www.jasonowensmusic.com. And you can see our tour schedule there. And come out and see us at a show sometime. We'd love to meet every single one of y'all. And I'll tell you what, if this guitar, it's a little out of tune, but I just thought I'd play a little something.
Yeah, go ahead. You've got about 2 minutes. Play it in the key of Sal.
I can.
No, I can hear it fine. Go ahead and grab that. You play us something. You've got about just under 2 minutes. Go ahead, boss.
You told me you're going out tomorrow, going to drown all your sorrows and going out with your girlfriends, leaving your boyfriend at home. Now it's been a while, I guess I should expect it. You do this every time, soon you're gonna regret it. When he sees my number on your phone at 3 a.m. I'm always your first call when you had a little too much. You're running to me no matter what. When you're getting past the point of a buzz, you start searching. You keep looking for something you've already found, but it takes a shot of 90 proof to make you drown in your emotions and realize you want me. And when you're with him and you're in denial, I'm your first drunk dial. Smell the whiskey through the phone, and you're asking me if I'm alone. And how many times do I have to tell you no? You got a man that treats you like a queen. Yeah, that guy would do anything to see your number light up his screen tonight. Well, I'm always your first call when you had a little too much. You're running to me no matter what. When you're getting past the point of a buzz, you start searching. You keep looking for something you've already found, but it takes a shot of 90 proof to make you drown in your emotions and realize you want me. When you're with him and you're in denial, I'm your first drunk dial.
On paper I look perfect, just a nice country boy from the south. And on paper I look worth it, the kind of guy you'd want to settle down with. But in reality, you gotta have a strong heart, 'cause being in love with me is really like being